What it is, what is up, what is good, gamers? This is Shonuff71, aka Digadulamite.
Happy New Year, y'all!
Yes, first episode of 2026. We're kicking it off with episode 297 of the Gaming Vessels podcast. Of course, I'm not in the digital studio alone. Along with me, I got my partners in crime. First on deck, it's Dez, a.k.a. the Bay Area Terror, a.k.a. the high-res lover.
Still and always will be.
A.k.a. the Cat Daddy, a.k.a. that gamer stepdaddy. What's going on, Dez?
Not much, everybody. Just happy to be back. Hope you all had a fantastic and memorable holiday season, and even better, New Year. I'm looking at 2026 as a year for me to get some games played and beaten. I'm here to beat games and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegums, but I got a ton of games. So I am trying very hard and gonna do that. So I'm here. I'm here for the games, y'all. I'm here for the games.
For the games. And of course, our show's a no-go without Trader Joe, a.k.a. Jabroni Chief.
Yeah.
But you might also know him as the Food Max of Gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. What's going on?
Everything's good. Happy New Year, all that good stuff. I'm in better spirits now after, passing, my dog passing away and all that stuff. So, I'm getting used to things. I went to go visit Des over the New Year's Eve weekend after New Year's. So it was kind of cool. Had some fun and, do my usual thing. I'm still kind of digging through the boxes here and trying to trade in crap to GameStop as my per usual. So it's like they have a 55% trade boost right now. So I'm like kind of looking, okay, what can I do? What games do I want there coming out the next few months, and kind of going from there. So no, I'm also been sorting through my collection a little bit too. So I finally put all my Switch games in order and in alphabetical order on a shelf, and I didn't realize I owned that much for Switch. So it's like, wow. So, but that's what I've been up to the last few weeks. So happy New Year, y'all.
Absolutely. It's been fun. Been working hard. I actually was granted like a last minute reprieve January for January 1st. I thought I would have I had to work on the 31st.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I had to work on the 2nd as well. So it kind of messed up the plans that me and my wife had we known that I was going to get the 2nd off, because I didn't know I was going to get it till the end of the day on the 31st. So it's kind of like, yeah, well, at least I was able to enjoy the 1st, which is also my birthday. So I just we didn't go anywhere because the plans that we would have made required like an RSVP, and it wouldn't have been fair to the folks that were hosting. For us to just kind of show up last minute. Hey, we're here. It's like, so we just
hang out with us
around at home. We just stayed at home. I was able to drink a little bit, which I wouldn't have been able to do if I had to go in on the 2nd. So it just kind of turned into a veg in, which I definitely need more of those, because I worked myself silly last year. And I'm on track to do the same thing this year, so we'll see. But so, as usual, folks, we're going to kick 2026 off with what is always our first topic on the docket. We got the playlist dropping right now. So let's kick things off with Jabroni. What you been up to past couple of weeks, man?
Well, I did get a chance to kind of put the PlayStation Portal through its paces a little bit. I did play it a little bit at home before going to Desmond's for the New Year's White Elephant, and it was kind of cool. I'm actually kind of really surprised by the Portal and just how well it runs. And, me and Des we were playing Diablo 4 down in his game den, and he was playing off his TV, and I was remotely connected to my PlayStation back in Fresno, connected via the internet. So we played like about, an hour and a half, 2 hours of Diablo 4, I think, Des. So
quite a bit. Like, I think it was about 2 hours.
Yeah. So, I was trying to connect to his internet, and it was having some issues. I'm thinking because we're on the same network. So I wound up just doing a Wi-Fi hotspot on my phone, and pretty much after that, I was ready to roll. So on there, but connecting to your PlayStation is pretty seamless. Also, connecting to play out of the cloud is actually not bad. It's really good. I wound up just for shits and giggles, I fired up Marvel Cosmic Invasion on the cloud version, and I didn't feel any lag or anything as far as playing it versus in cloud versus native on there. So, and I was able to connect to my PlayStation and be able to go ahead and play games off my system. I also connected my Portal to Desmond's system as well, so I could play some of his games and his catalog on the Portal while I was visiting and whatnot. Since I got back home, I have not connected to your PlayStation, Des. So,
Thank you.
Yes. I don't know if I should give you fair warning before I fire it up or whatnot.
Well, if I come in and I see a
Jabroni on your system,
and it's getting tore up, breaking the game, tear my system off forever now.
Yeah, but I got a chance to kind of mix things up a little bit while I was at Desmond's. I tried a couple games that was on his PlayStation 5, and so I finally had a chance to check out Ball Pit, and I actually really liked the game. So, Desmond's talked about this previously on previous episodes, but it's a point that this is like kind of a breakout / roguelike / like light sim stuff, like. And so light, it reminds me of ActRaiser from the Super Nintendo. That's how light it is. So on there, it's enough to be enjoyable, in my opinion. I went ahead and I actually purchased the game after I got back home.
Good.
I played a little bit. I didn't want to have to rely on connecting to your PlayStation to play it. So, I also played this card game called Gordian Quest that Desmond also owns and talked about previously on the show as well. I kind of wanted to get into, because I don't play CCGs at all. I don't play Magic the Gathering. I've never dabbled in any sort of other card game like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, or anything like that. And I kind of saw that this was like kind of a gateway chance for me to try something new, and it kind of reminds me almost like playing an RPG, but having a little bit more choices as far as the combat and having the random issues because of the having to deal with a deck of cards and drawing cards and so on and so forth. So that's how I kind of feel like I'm going to try to get used to it a little bit more. I'm going to try to see if I could understand a little bit more of the strategy involved too. So it's kind of a cool thing to be able to check it out. I went ahead and I also purchased that game because that game was like $2. So
yeah, they're really cheap.
Yeah, really cheap. And then from there, I did take advantage of both the Steam winter sale, and also there was a big PlayStation sale as well. So it was a point that I discovered digital goods and especially cheap games is like good times, but other than that, I did circle back to some of my usuals. So I was playing a lot more Borderlands 4, of course. I'm right up the point of getting to where I'm going to fight Bile Lictor. So it's kind of crazy that I have 200 hours in the game and I haven't even gone to the second tier boss yet, but I'm extracting that value like Des likes to say. So
I'd expect nothing less from you, buddy.
Of course. And then on the train, I did try to play the Portal. I'm sorry, but Amtrak's Wi-Fi was like, no, you're not connecting to your PlayStation, sir. So I did try, but on the train I did get a chance to do some Steam Deck, so I went back to my usual, which is Legends of Heroes: Trails in the Sky. Not the remaster, the original release from back in the day, y'all. But I'm looking to kind of fire up more Steam Deck business and kind of go from there. But that's kind of been my last couple weeks here in the old casa. So
cool.
That's cool. It's cool. So, Des, what you been up to, man?
Oh, I've been playing a lot of stuff. For my time out, I actually needed to I don't know, I really was, again, like I was saying, really wanting to play more games and just really fully embrace my gamer nerd side. So, first thing I started playing was Octopath Traveler on my Switch 2. So it has been my travel game. It has been the game that I play while I'm in bed. I actually started taking my Switch to work and started playing it on the train and whatnot. And while it's kind of cramped, I can actually play it. Like, I can play it, and it's not too bad. So yeah, it's not bad. I still haven't found a way to fully connect my my AirPods, my Apple AirPods to it, but I know you can. I just haven't taken the time to just kind of like figure it out. I don't really want to wear a wired headset, like earbuds to it if I can help it. So, but I don't worry about that because a lot of the times I don't listen to the sound anyway. So that's not really that big of an issue. But it's been a fun game. I can understand why people are liking it. The what is it? The way it plays is like a classic RPG, but it has that newish sort of graphics to it. That 2D
HD.
2D HD kind of look to it, and it looks really good. And it's super simple. It is about the story. I'm still in the beginning of it, but I have really enjoyed what I've been playing so far. I took the Thief's route because, I did a little bit of looking on, what was the best one to start, because you start with one of the 8 players, and then you playable characters, and then you meet the other ones as you're playing the game. And the one that I started, the Thief, I think his name is Tristan or whatever, he has a steal ability. So you can basically just steal from people left and right, and it's fun. I'm in my first boss, and he's rough, but I think I can beat him. So, but yeah, that's been a really fun game. And it plays really well on the Switch. So, also was playing Diablo 4 with Joe, like you said before. That's kind of our comfort food game. We put it on. We play it. We're going through the Vessel of Hatred.
DLC.
Yeah, that DLC, and we are trying to, I guess, beat it. We're playing season 11, folks. So let's see how we do. But it's been fun. It's been really fun to go back to it. There's still a lot of meat on that bone, and it's one of those things that you just kind of put on and put in the background and kind of play, and it's fun. Like, I really enjoy it. And the rest of these games, like Diablo 4 and all them, are all on my PlayStation 5. So. Started my replay of Gotham Knights. I that's a game that I wanted to play and I wanted to beat. So I put that on. Excuse me, because I'm a Batman fan, and I thought that game, didn't get the love that it deserved. So I'm gonna give it the love it deserves. The high res love is gonna give it some love. So that's what I'm doing. And then after that one, I want to play Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm gonna do a double. I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna do a two for one. I'm gonna beat these two games. One from DC, one from Marvel. We're gonna keep it pushing. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm playing both.
Any Suicide Squad kills the Justice League afterwards?
I knew you're gonna ask that, and no, that is poop. It'll stay poop. I ain't trying to. Nope. No, thank you. Goodbye. a side-scrolling game that I played that I got for a side-scrolling game that I got for super cheap was Berserk Boy. It's a Mega Man clone. The plays pretty cool. It's it looks like Mega Man. It runs like Mega Man. The only difference is you don't really have a buster. Like you don't have like a blaster. You can't blast people. You run up to them, and it's more like Zero in that you are the beast. You go berserk on these fools, and you run into them, and you kind of like, what is that? You do that kind of flying knee kick from like Altered Beasts. That's how you do it, and then you have like a Firebird companion that talks to you, and he's all like sassy Firebird, and you're a sassy kid, and you're fighting, these people who are trying to merge with the sparks of robots, and it's just silly. It's just silly fun. I'm enjoying it. It's all got chunky sprites, and it's just a fun little game. It does not accept a lot from you. It doesn't want a lot from you, but it is super, super fun, and I'm enjoying it. And lastly, I started playing Dragon Quest III. I want to play that because I wanted to play that trilogy, Dragon Quest 1 through 3, 3 being the prequel to 1 and 2, so that's why it came out first. And I want to play it. And I started playing it. It's got that 2D HD kind of style, much like Octopath Traveler, but I think this one has a lot more color in it, and it looks a lot more. It looks a lot brighter and more vibrant, and I'm really enjoying it. And I didn't realize that when you're creating your character, you can either be a boy or a male or a female. And I thought I was picking because the sprites for the character look. The only difference really is the haircut. And I didn't realize the haircut that I was catching was a feminine haircut. So I named it a dude's name. And I'm like, okay, so I have to restart that game. But it was right at the beginning, so I'm not worried about it. But it was just kind of hilarious that happened. And then in this game, you don't really find anybody. You create the characters that come with you. So you go to this inn or this place and you recruit people. So I recruited some friends. I recruited Joe, and I recruited Jabroni, and I made Jabroni a warrior. And then I recruited Paul, and I made him a wizard. And I recruited Goonie and Goonimon, and I made him a priest, so a cleric or something. So I got the trifecta. But then I was thinking, nah, I'm the warrior. Well, actually, I'm the hero. So I get all kinds of different weird stuff. So so I said, okay, maybe Joe shouldn't be the warrior. Maybe I should make Joe the Beastmaster. And I thought about making Joe a Beastmaster, and so I don't know. We'll see. I just started the game. I've really been enjoying it so far, and there's something fun about running into people's houses and stealing all their stuff. So
that's the Dragon Quest given right there. I love that stuff.
Exactly, just running into people's houses and being like, "This is mine now, thank you." So, but those are the games that I've been playing. So since I've been gone, and I can't wait to play more. So, Kev, buddy, what have you been playing?
So it's gonna sound like a lot, but it really hasn't been. So fair warning, it's just going to sound like a lot. So first thing up, Santa for Grown Folks came through, and I got a Switch 2.
Yay!
Yay!
You don't sound so happy.
Boy, good Switch.
So the first thing, of course, that I did after setting it up was I threw in Bayonetta 3. And Bayonetta 3 plays much better. It's actually playable.
Well, that's good.
It's actually playable on the Switch too, which really is all I needed from the console. Was I just wanted it to play the games that I was particularly excited about. And I have pushed my way through. I started the game over, And I don't know how many chapters are in Bayonetta 3. It's not a very long game. I'm in chapter 8. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, Bayonetta 3 has 10 chapters or 12. I can't remember. But I'm pretty deep into the gameplay. The gameplay is definitely very good. I feel it's the best of the series, in my opinion, for only just the ability that you have access to just such a variety of different weapons. Bayonetta can assume the demons that she contracts with can affect her ability to traverse the landscape. Like once you gain access to the giant fire spider, and I don't know the names of these creatures, so I'll just describe what they look like.
We got you.
The giant fire spider allows you to traverse lava pits. The giant stripper lady looking chick that you start out with, she allows you to she can like jump really far. And then there's another one that's basically, I guess the closest thing to describe it would be like if Wolverine was completely feral, like not even human anymore. That allows you to literally rocket almost completely across the level, like go from like one point of interest to another. There's a lot of platforming in this game. Some of it is vertical, most of it is horizontal. Some levels are a combination of both. So sometimes you'll need to switch personas to make it to where you're trying to go. But the combat and the weapon variety is really, really cool. It's obvious that I have missed a couple, because just out of curiosity, just checking out YouTube videos, there's like a whip that I don't have, and there's also there's another weapon I think that I don't have too. I've got like a giant club. The club is fun. The club is hilarious to use because you can't, of course, you can't wield it as quickly as the other weapons. Like, I think my overall favorite is the yo-yos. She's got these bladed yo-yos that she can use. And it's like really easy to build combos. The club is also fun because it just does so much damage. Typical or regular enemies get squashed in one hit. And fighting bosses is really interesting because even though, of course, they don't get squashed in one hit, because she attacks really slow, and because this game has animation interruption, you can go into witch time through a dodge very quickly, or very easily rather, and you're in witch time a little bit. For a little bit of a longer period with the giant club than you are with some of the other weapons. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm just happy that I can play it, that it's actually playable. The other game that I thought about starting over, but I decided against it, was Hyrule Warriors, and I threw that in, and finally I can play that game at a decent frame rate.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, that game struggled so much on the Switch, and I don't really know why, because it's not as graphically impressive as even say Bayonetta is, but that game just struggled crazy. But on the Switch 2, a much smoother experience, particularly the I forget what they call those giant machines in the Zelda series, the Great Beasts or whatever.
The ones from Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, I forget what they call them. Well, they're in Hyrule Warriors, and you can take command of them. Those levels unplayable on the original Switch. The frame rate chugs so much. You're taking hits from enemies that you can't even see because there's not enough memory to render them on the screen, yet they're doing damage. I mean, it's just absolute crap show on the original Switch, but all that stuff is present and accounted for. It's still, you can sense like a little bit of a drop on some of them. On some of the great beasts. I was doing the great beast for whatever that giant lava dude is. I can't remember. He's been like regular Zelda games before. I don't know his name. He looks kind of like a chunky Samoan dude, and he's in command. You can command a great beast on his level. And there was a little bit of slowdown, but nowhere near as much as it has been on the original console. Jumped into the bundle that I received was the Mario Kart bundle. Unfortunately, well, I guess it doesn't matter, but I prefer going physical with my stuff whenever possible. There was a deal for the Switch 2 bundle with a physical copy of Mario Kart for $450 at some point, but I wasn't about to like try and trade this one in just so I can have a physical copy of Mario Kart World. That didn't make any sense, but I played Mario Kart World. It's more Mario Kart. I don't think it's as fun as 8, but it's okay. Do I think it's worth $80? Oh, hell no. No, nuh-uh.
I'd probably agree with you as well. So I haven't messed with it at all that much. So
yeah, it is not an $80 game when Mario Kart 8 exists, but it's Mario Kart. It's all right. It's a fun game. So that was my time with the Switch 2. Picked up a couple of other things. I grabbed a copy of Hot Shots, the new Hot Shots Golf for PS5. Played a little bit of that. It's fun, but I don't like it as much as the last game, which I think took place at there was like a whole resort theme, and there was like a really big kind of open world thing to it. Like there was hang gliding you could do and fishing you can do and a whole bunch. There was like golf was still the main thing, but there were these kind of like periphery activities that you could do. This one is just, at least at where I am in the game, it's like straight up golf. They have like a story mode for every character that you unlock. So there's some kind of built-in replayability. It's kind of weird because like the first character that you gain access to in the campaign is basically the same character. One's male, one's female. The girl, I started with the girl. She's like a cheerleader that she just decided to take up golf just on a whim because her whole thing is cheer. And so I like to cheer people on, but she's upset because they want you to be quiet. And to finish her first section, you have to beat a pro who is like this Spaniard guy. And I was not able to beat him the first time around. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because I haven't played the game in so long. I used to be pretty good at Hot Shots Golf. Yeah, I suck now. I like completely suck at it now. It's like that first boss beat me. And what was so funny is like, if you decide to end right then and there, just save the game and end, she gives this like little speech like, Oh, gee, I wasn't able to beat a pro my first time out. Maybe I'm better off sticking with cheer.
Hmm.
And it's like, that is the weirdest. That just doesn't even make sense. It's like, man, my first time trying this, I played against a pro and I lost. Man, I think I'll go back to cheer. It was like, it was really weird. And then when you beat him, she gets mad because when you lose, she's mad at herself for losing to a pro because she can do everything well the first time around. And when you win, she gets mad at the pro because you took it easy on me.
Sure.
And it's just, you know, it's just kind of, I guess it's clap handsy, if that makes any sense. There are people that make the game, but it's fun. But my gosh, I suck at it now. Played a 2D action scroller called Hunt Down. It's kind of like it's very much inspired by 80s like gritty cop, futuristic cop action. So think Judge Dredd, think Blade Runner, and think, all these, it's very much heavily inspired. You can choose from several characters, each one with their own kind of weapon loadout. And you can pick up power-ups along the way. What's unique about it is that you can take cover. You can either take cover behind objects that are on screen, or you can take cover in the background if you're near an open door, or you throw an explosive that creates a hole in a wall. You can take cover there. Very, very 80s weirdness. The main characters are all derivatives of like 80s action heroes. Like there's one girl who is obviously kind of a she's like a cross between Pam Grier and what was that Sylvester Stallone, was it Cobra? Yeah, like Pam Grier and Cobra. There's like a RoboCop dude. There's and there's like one or two other. There's like one other guy, and then there's an unlockable character. But it's fun. It's really fun. It's cartoony, bloody. So you shoot somebody, and this ridiculous amount of blood comes out of them. You blow them up. You see the chunks fly. You're fighting, this guy is pushing drugs. It's like these mind-altering drugs that makes them, immune to bullets. It's like they didn't kid around. Like one of the earlier bosses is like the Macho Man, and he literally will start injecting himself with steroids in the middle of the fight to power up. He's like, oh yeah, time to pump up, and then he'll pull out a hypodermic needle and start pumping out. They pull no punches in this game. But it's funny. It's pretty fun. So it's definitely one I'm going to keep on playing. Also, was able to get a hold of the Retro Rex Ogami retro console, which is probably like I ordered this thing back literally on Black Friday, and it showed up on the 31st of December. They're a small company. They completely sold out. I thought I was in on like one of the first shipments of the product, and turns out I was. But it's like once that product was made known, they just got hammered with orders. It actually turns out that I was pretty lucky to get a hold of it, because I checked their website like literally last night to submit a question, and they're completely sold out, and they don't know when they're going, or their allocation's going to come back. Hopefully, the RAM prices don't affect the price because the price is already steep. I got mine on a Black Friday deal, but regular price it's actually even higher than the original regular price now. So I don't know. Maybe they've already made accommodations for the cost of RAM. But basically, what it is a mini PC that is running Batacera on Linux. So it's not Windows based; it's Linux based. And I have no experience with Linux, but the game automatically boots up in Batacera, so it's very console-esque. Now, they say it's plug and play, and I guess if you really want to, at a base level, it is. But first thing you're going to want to you need to know, it comes with a pack-in controller. The pack-in controller is not great. The YouTuber that I follow said that he thought the pack-in controller was okay. No, it's not okay. It's not trash, but it's maybe like a step above that because it just does not feel comfortable. It is like a PlayStation 3 style off-brand. The digital pad, instead of an actual, you know how the pads are segmented, right? There's like a disc underneath the plastic so that you can do circular motions with the digital pad easier. Well, on this one, the digital pad, each direction is an actual button, and that just feels weird. So if you want to move right, it's a button. If you want to go down, it's a button. Going diagonal, you have to hit both two buttons at the same time, and it just does not feel does not feel right in the hand. Plus, it's super light. But you need that controller to actually connect to the console because, well, you probably don't, but I didn't realize this when I first turned it on. It comes with a dongle. That controller has a dongle, and even though Batacera does have a Bluetooth connection, it don't work. If it does work, I wasn't able to get it. I wasn't able to figure out how to. I'm using 8-bit dues. I've got the one that kind of looks like an Xbox controller, and the stand actually has a built-in dongle. So when you plug that into the system, it will register. But what you must do is you must configure the controller in the menu. So that means you've got to set what all your buttons are. I didn't realize that when I started. Like when you connect the controller that it comes with, it'll work, but then it'll start. It just does like these squirrely things. Like you think you hit one button to start a game. The next game you hit that same button and it won't kick the game off. So you've got to go into the Batacera's menus and configure your controller completely. Once you do that, it's saved. What I went on ahead and did is I bought myself two 8-bit do SN30 controllers, which look like SNES pads. They've got rumble. They've got horizontal sticks. Both of them have HAL sticks on them. And honestly, I like these better for using on the Ogami even better than the regular, full size controller that I have. It just it just feels, it's like ergonomic retro. I don't know. It's weird. It's like, especially when you're playing Super Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's outfitted just like an SNES controller with additional buttons. So you're able to play everything, but it feels particularly nostalgic, like upgraded nostalgia, like when you're playing like Super Mario World, and this game does, and you can it does register rumble in a lot of these games. I don't know if the rumble actually makes a whole lot of sense in some of these older games, but in some of them it actually does. Like in the PS2, I was playing off-road ATV, and I'm getting rumble more or less when you would expect it. And that, I tell you, that those SN30 controllers are just super dope. They're small, and I thought I was going to have a problem with their size because I have kind of slightly larger hands, and I thought I was going to be cramping using them for extended periods of time. I'm not having any of those issues at all. Using the sticks is not an issue, even with a smaller controller. So I don't know what kind of ergonomic wizardry they did at 8-Bit Do when they designed these SN30s, but they're absolutely fantastic. What I didn't realize was that I would need to buy a dongle for them to register with this system. Again, I think it might have to do with the fact that this is Linux-based and not Windows-based, and I don't know anything about Linux. When I went into the options in Batocera and I went to the Bluetooth, it just would not pick up. It just would not pick up the SN30 controllers. And I was following the instructions on how to do it. There's like a digital manual that comes with it, because I'm calling it a console, but it's actually a mini PC. It's like a Ryzen based mini PC. It's literally the same one that I bought the same type of what I bought last year. When I wanted something that I could, when I originally thought I was going to make my own retro thing based on a mini PC, and I tried doing that. I said, nah, forget all that. It's basically the same thing, but this one doesn't have Windows. It has Linux, and I just could not get that Bluetooth to work. I could not get it to connect. So I went back to Amazon and I bought two 8-Bit Do dongles, which they'll connect to any controller. There's like a whole laundry list of controllers that they're compatible with. The only hiccup is that you can only pair one dongle to one controller. It's like once you pair it, you can't change it. So, and I think that actually works fine because it's locked to that controller. So now I can just, turn on the computer, I turn on the controller and it automatically locks in. I'm able to play. As far as the games list, super robust. There's about 50,000 games on this thing, ranging from all kind. We're going from arcade to retro console to like all kinds of stuff. What I did run into was that there are some ROMs that just would not load, just would not start. Now, after doing a little bit of digging and going back to it, there's like two things that you have to juggle. Because honestly, I think for people like me who don't have the time and don't have the patience to put something like this together themselves, I think a pre-built, even at this price point for what you're getting, is a deal deluxe. If you really want to get into retro, if you really want to play those old games, if you really have like uh, a soft spot in your gamer heart for like old arcade machines, something like this is ideal. If you can live without if you can live without the like the PS3 or the Xbox 360 stuff, I would even suggest getting the retro, what do they call it, the retro Rex, which is literally just like an Android box with an external hard drive. And that one they had, Retro Rex had in stock. It's like $170. It has a crap ton of games, but it doesn't go past, like, it only goes up to like PlayStation 2 era. And I've seen reviews on that, and that thing works amazingly. And I would just assume that it's compatible with Bluetooth controllers, as long as you also have a dongle that it can connect to. So if you don't even need that stuff, I would suggest getting something like that. But the for those ROMs that don't launch, there are multiple emulators on Batocera. So like, I tried to play 1944 Loop Master, which is like one of my. I've only played Loop Master one time. It was in an arcade in Los Angeles, and that game is like one of my favorite shmups. Period. I've always been partial to the 1940X series of shmups, but Loop Master, I only played it once, but it's super dope. So I tried to play Loop Master. Loop Master wouldn't load. So I'm like, what the hell? So I go down this rabbit hole trying to figure out, what do you do in Batocera when ROMs don't launch? So Batocera comes pre-configured with multiple versions of different different, not ROMs, but different emulators for different ROM sets. So for MAME, there are 3. There's actually a ton more than 3 for MAME, so I may have to wind up downloading additional MAME emulators to try and get Loop Master to work. But you have to connect. You can switch what emulator runs whichever game. Like for Loop Master, I went through all 3 of them. I couldn't get it to work. When I tried to play, what was another game? Like Ajax. Ajax wouldn't kick off. And I went to another emulator. I launched it again. It worked. So there's a whole lot of trial and error with this thing. So I would stop short at saying that it's plug and play, and I understand there's no way to quality control tens of thousands of games. I mean, that's physically impossible to do. But I have a feeling that once I hear back from their tech support, that they're going to hit me with a solution on, because there are ways to download additional ROMs into Batocera. I'm just not exactly sure on how to do it, because when I look it up on YouTube, there's like one way you do it for Windows, and there's another way you do it for Linux, and then there's another way you do it. It's like, I'd rather just hear from the people that put the product out and just do it that way. So I'm going to wait and hear from them. But I do not regret getting this thing, because it literally has just about everything you could think of on this. I played through 2 of the Metal Slug games, and
so good.
I had to, because like I started playing it, I was like, okay, I'm sick and tired of this sweat code. What's the blood code? I'm like, it is so stupid. It's like you shoot some dude and you just see, this grayish white liquid comes out of them. It's like, no, I just shot this man. I want to see his blood. I had to,
bloodthirsty over here, bloodthirsty.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's dumb. I don't even know why. I mean, I know why Neo Geo did it. It was that period of, violence in video games, but it's just stupid. So I went through this, I went down this other rabbit hole. I was like, there has got to be a way to turn the blood on in these games. And there was. It is a combination of button presses and button holds that you have to do depending on the emulator that's running your Neo Geo game. So for Batocera, there's 4 different ones that came pre-installed on this. So I had to find the one that's on here that allows for the change, and you can do it on all of them, but each one is a little bit different. So I was using what they call the Universal Neo Geo emulator, and basically you hit you hit and hold X, Y, and B together to open the emulator submenu, and it looks just like if you were like it takes you into like what you would call the arcade on menu, the arcade owner's menu. You can set how many lives, you can set your scan lines, you can set all kinds of stuff. And one of the options, which was way down at the bottom, is you can turn the blood on. It literally says blood on or off, and its default is to off. So you turn that on. The cool thing about the Universal Neo Geo emulator is that once you do it for that, as long as you use the Universal emulator for all your Neo Geo games, the blood code's automatically going to be in there. So that's for Samsho, that's for all the fighting games, all the Metal Slug games. So once you do it once, you don't have to do it again. And I started playing through Metal Slug, and it's like, yeah, this is the Metal Slug I remember. Shooting dudes, blood spraying everywhere, dudes getting blown up into little bloody chunks. That's my Metal Slug. So I had a lot of fun playing that. One thing I did notice was that when things get really rowdy, Metal Slug, and I don't know if it has to do with the emulator itself. I think it might. It chugs like super chug. It gets like super chuggy. Like,
yeah, it's the arcade game. It's the arcade
it is.
game. Yeah.
Oh, they did it. I don't remember it being that super chuggy.
I remember it being chuggy. Yeah, that it made the Neo Geo like slow down a bit, but
yeah, there was a lot. There's a lot of, well, if it did it in the original, then I guess there's no reason to not expect it to see it here. But I thought that might have been having something to do with the emulation itself. But still had fun with having a crap ton of fun with it. I'm going to play through the other Metal Slug games. This thing also has Moonwalker Arcade, which if you've never played Michael Jackson's Moonwalker Arcade, you're missing out on you're missing out on something, because I know there was Moonwalker for the Genesis.
Michael,
no. I mean,
no, Michael.
It's okay. The Genesis version it's all right. I played it once.
That game is good.
I thought it was okay, but it is nothing like the arcade one, because you could play the one that they used to have at Fashion Fair. They had the 4-player Michael, so everybody's Michael. And Michael's like, basically, he's like a wizard, because he shoots these magic blasts out of his head.
He's a smooth criminal.
Yeah, oh yeah. When you do the specials, he'll do like the smooth criminal lean, and like there'll be when you're playing alone, like multiple versions of himself will come out and start dancing, and all the enemies start dancing. And then when the dance moves over, everything blows up.
Yep.
Dude,
So good.
That game that is peak Sega. I mean, it's that game was just so dope. It's a shame that they couldn't duplicate it, or they didn't duplicate it on the Genesis. Maybe that wasn't possible. There wasn't enough RAM, whatever it is. The blast processing wasn't enough. It couldn't blast enough of that processing to duplicate that. But Moonwalker is just it's just so awesome. Price point. I got this for $380, including shipping. Normal price is $500. So this is not cheap. But I think if you number one don't have the time or don't have the patience to put a tens of thousands of games retro console together yourself, I think something like this is the almost perfect solution to that problem. Retro Rex went above and beyond to make sure that this thing was not packed with duplicates. Like, I have a Ken Hank 12 terabyte hard drive. And I'm kind of glad that I do, because I can always use that as kind of like the bank for all my ROMs, so I don't have to download anything. I can literally just copy them from the Ken Hank drive, and then once I figure out how to do it on this on the retro on the Ogami, I can just transfer those files directly from my Ken Hank drive and put them on a flash and drop them into the Ogami and get them loaded up that way once I hear back from their tech support. So I will hopefully be able to play Loop Masters pretty soon. I think it's money. It's money well spent. So I'll end it there, because I could talk about that damn thing for forever and a day. The next thing I picked up was the Intellivision Sprint. I placed an order fairly early, and I didn't think I was going to get it, because my order wasn't canceled, but on Amazon it would say your order is delayed. It was delayed. Then it said, well, you're going to get it in March. Then it said I was going to get it in February, and then it said I was going to get it in April. And I'm like, well, I don't know if this thing has been canceled or what. So I wasn't expecting it. So it showed up actually on January 2nd. What's cool about it, and I haven't pulled it, I haven't unpackaged it, because like part of me is like, I'm looking at, I just happened, just out of curiosity, I went on eBay and saw how much people were selling these. This thing, I got this thing for like $140. People are selling them for like $300.
Jeez.
And I'm not exactly sure why, because it's not like they're only going to make a certain number of them and they're going to stop. At least from what I know, the company that is making them said that they will continue to make them for as long as they're in demand. They're sold out on Amazon, and Amazon is saying they don't know when they're going to get another allocation of them. So maybe that has something to do with it. So part of me is like, because like I think like yesterday one sold for $350.
Jeez.
And it's like, yeah, I don't know. So I'll monitor it. But when I mentioned before on my Ken Hank, I've got a shit ton of Intellivision games. The Sprint ships was like 45 games pre-built. And there's tutorials on how to add Intellivision games onto it, and also how to make the presentation look like the ones the presentation on how it ships. It's like the user interface on the Sprint is really clean. It's like it'll give you the overlay. It'll show you the overlay. It'll show you the artwork on the box, on the physical box when it was sold in stores. It'll give you a brief overview of the game itself. It's like a really, really clean user interface on that thing. So what I'm going to do is, like, if I decide to keep it, which I'm 80-20 on the edge of keeping it. I'm about an 80-20, but if this price goes up much higher, I may have to change that. I have an SD card, and I'm going to like transfer all of my Intellivision games from my Ken Hank, and I'm going to put them on the Sprint, and that's just going to be my pet project, and then just kind of try and. I know it's going to frustrate me. I already know that because I've seen the process on how you do it. And it's like, I already know I'm going to be pissed the hell off at some point trying to get this done, particularly when it comes to translating the overlay images over, because that involved going into like some type of like, what do you call that? Photo editor, and adjusting stuff, and it's like, okay, I already see how well that's going to go, but I'm going to try it. I will give it the old college try, because Intellivision is like so super special to me. It's where I started playing video games for the most part. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try and get it going, but
good luck,
I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it packaged until I decide to do that. So. That way I can monitor. That way I can monitor how high this thing is going to go, and because if it hits like 450, 500, I'm selling it. It's like at that point it's like what am I doing here? I know they're going to make more of them, and
I'll sell it and make your profit and buy another one later.
Yeah. So, but I'm not just I'm going to try and hold on to it. But if it goes too much higher, then yeah, I will go ahead and do that. But that's pretty much. I know it sounded like a lot, but it really wasn't, because I didn't spend a whole lot of time doing each one of those things except for the Ogami. That the Ogami has been like my go to bed. Just before I go to bed, I turn that thing on, and I just dip back into. It's like a time machine, man. It's like. It's 1991, 1992, and I'm back at festival.
That's great.
Yeah.
You could turn back time, Kev.
Yeah, it is my own personal time machine. Absolutely. So that's what I have been up to. So we're going to move on to our next topic on the docket. We have vessel line responses for our first podcast of 2026. So with that, I'm going to pass the mic to Des.
All right. Thanks, Kev. So yeah, this was a question that was asked by our good friend and longtime, commentator, Jabroni Chief. Yay! Yeah, he asked the question of our listeners and all the folks in our community. What is your most anticipated game or games for 2026, and one game in your backlog that you are looking to play? So, Joe, since you are the one that started this off and asked this question, why don't you be the one to start us off, buddy?
Well, as far as the games I'm kind of anticipating for 2026, I mean, and me sitting here and listening to Kev talk about all the retro adventures had me kind of brainstorming games coming out in 2026 that I want to play. So my list, basically, I want to play Pragmata from Capcom. I think that game looks neat on there. I've kind of been keeping an eye on that game. There is a demo of that actually on Steam right now that I want to see if I could check out. I know the console demo is supposed to be out pretty soon. Next game would be for me, The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. So this is from Team Asano, the same group that brought you Octopath Traveler and whatnot. And this is their kind of HD 2D bent on an action RPG. And so I've played this a little bit on the Switch 2, the demo, but it is coming out for everything, like PC, PS5, Xbox. It's coming out for everything. So what I played of it is like chef's kiss. It's just really good. It is really, really good. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Of course, I'm a big Dragon Quest fan, so I actually got a chance to tool around with the demo a little bit earlier today. There is an actual demo out on all platforms where your save data will transfer over to the actual game. And there's an actuality that you'll get a reward too if you do beat the demo. So I'll be doing that. Suda51 and Grasshopper Manufacturers Romeo is a Dead Man is coming out in mid-February. And if you know Suda and everything that he brings to the table, it's like, sign me up on this thing. So I've been kind of anticipating this game for a while. I don't think Grasshopper's released a major game since No More Heroes 3. And so I think, Kev, you're probably looking at this possibly as well. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then, I got to get my ARPG fix. So I'm waiting for Titan Quest 2 to come to consoles. It's on PC early access, but I'm like, don't know if I want to play it there. Path to Exile 2, we played a little bit in the prior year, Des, me and you, but I'm looking for the 1.0 to come out before I kind of dip my toe back into it. So, and then Last Epoch is another ARPG that's on PC that basically they have a new expansion called Orbis that is going to come to PlayStation 5. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. If I get impatient, I'll probably take a look at the Steam version of Last Epoch and see if I could play around with that as well. As far as my backlog, I got an immense backlog, but the games I kind of wanted to get to, Horizon Zero Dawn, I think is a game. I have not played Horizon at all. I have not played a minute of Horizon, so it's something that I kind of need to atone for myself. There's a lot of the big Sony tent poles that I have not played, so and I'm gonna make Horizon Zero Dawn my first. Final Fantasy 15 of all things. I never had an opportunity to play that game, and I own all the DLC, so it's like I know, Kev, you really enjoy Final Fantasy 15, so it's like I'm really thinking about getting back to it. I know you enjoyed it quite a bit, so. And then last backlog banger I want to get to is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. So it's like I've been I dabbled in this game on the Wii U. I was really excited for the Switch version of it, but I've been kind of in the background, kind of waiting for seeing if they do a Switch 2 patch. But I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm going to see if I can get going on this game in 2026. So,
was this the one that you were trying to get me to play with you?
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to get you to play because it's multiplayer and the scale of it is just like crazy. And so it's always given me some like original Phantasy Star Online vibes a little bit. So
yeah, it takes forever with it too. I was playing it. I was ready. I was in it. I was like, let's go. And you're like, no.
Did you buy it?
Yeah, dude. I told you I bought it. I own it. I've been trying to.
Oh, okay.
I've been playing it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
your fault,
what?
Sir.
My fault. Oh, blame.
Yes.
It's a shame, of course.
Yeah, it's a shame. Might mess around with them games. It's a shame.
Yes. That's
Anything
right.
else on your list?
That's it. That's a big laundry list of stuff. So
yes, and I really hope in my heart of hearts that you complete at least one of them.
Of course.
All righty. Well, excuse me. Well, we have one person. We have two people actually who responded to this. The first one being John BT saying, I don't have a lot on my gaming radar now. Maybe Wolverine, if it comes out. It'll come out, John. Come on. But I think this year I'll start with my backlog. Me too, buddy. I'm currently playing Sea of Stars on my Switch 2. Great game. Mostly portable, actually. I'm partway through Yote, but paused it. And for some reason, haven't been drawn back in. but I plan to start Clair Obscura next week, so that's exciting. Yes, I just a little hint about what's on my list. Clair Obscura is on my list as well. But Kev, what are some of the games that you're looking forward to in 2026?
So some of them were Joe mentioned them, like Romeo's a Dead Man, and Pragmata. But for sure, for me, Phantom Blade Zero is a must. That game just has my gaming type written all over it. The Kung Fu Theater, Saturday morning Kung Fu Theater vibe, just it's hitting. It's definitely hitting. Wolverine for sure. And I am just so glad that they're actually true to the character. Like, he's not punching the sweat off of people. They didn't give him the SNK treatment.
There you go.
Yeah.
They actually gave him I'm an adult treatment.
Yeah, I'm an adult. Yeah, it's like you're gonna be bleeding, you're gonna be losing body parts, which is what you would expect when fighting Wolverine. So thank goodness they are true to that. Saros. Returnal is one of those games that I actually absolutely love, but I can't finish it. I just do not have the reflexes for it. I understand that there's a balance patch that came out some time ago, so I really need to go back and jump back into Returnal at some point. But Saros looks freaking amazing. I do like the kind of like the arcade bullet hell stuff. I'm not good at it, but I like it. So, and the story behind Saros looks amazing. So that's definitely one that I'm looking forward to. And lastly, I'm just going to say, and I kind of want to make it like a New Year's resolution, is just fighting games in general, man. Like,
yeah,
I go to Evo every year when I can. I love fighting games. I never stopped loving them. They used to be my favorite genre. I think beat 'em ups have surpassed it, but not by much. But and like every time I go to Evo, I go broke buying new controllers for fighting games, which I never freaking use, which makes absolutely zero sense. I've got two of the best leverless sticks that money can buy, literally sitting in my man cave unboxed. Makes no sense. So I'm getting back into fighting games in 2026, and I think it's going to start with 2XKO and season 2 of City of the Wolves. That's when I'm going to jump. I thought about, well, let me jump into Fatal Fury, now and do it. It's like, well, with a new season comes different play balances and different move sets and all that other stuff. So I'm going to hold off on City of the Wolves until season 2 comes out. There is some really crazy season 2 hype coming up for that game. Like they've already hinted at Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star making an appearance in that, which is crazy because Kenshiro he just touches people and they die, which is I don't know how that's going to make sense, but hey, it's a fighting game.
As long as he kills Ronaldo and that stupid
DJ
guy.
I want to see him kill them and have them not be playable anymore.
Wow.
But so I will jump back into City of the Wolves with season 2. We got a teaser trailer for Alex for Street Fighter 6's new season. If you know anything about me, Alex was my second favorite character from Third Strike, Dudley being my first. So Alex, with them having Alex and Terry Bogard in Street Fighter 6, that might get me to go back and start playing that. Maybe. It depends on how Alex plays. So I don't think they've shown any gameplay of him, just an introductory trailer. But 2XKO is getting ready to drop here in literally a few weeks, I think. And I want to get into that game because I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of it for the 2 times that I played it at Evo. And of course there's and of course there's Invincible Versus, which just looks amazing. I have a feeling that game is going to take Mortal Kombat's place.
Yeah.
For the gruesome fighting game genre, and there's even more, a whole bunch more that's being hinted. Indie developers are getting into the fighting game big time this coming year. So there's a lot heading. There's definitely a fighting game renaissance. We got Virtua Fighter coming. There's even rumors that Dead or Alive is going to make a comeback. So there's a lot coming this year in the fighting game genre, and I need to get plugged back in. I definitely need to get plugged back in. So that also means a lot of my stuff in my backlog is just not going to get played if I make good on that. And I don't mind, I don't mind. I want to make space for fighting games again because, there was a time, like I said, that's my favorite genre and I still love them today. Go to Evo specifically to watch and play new fighting games. And it's like, but I don't do it at home. And it just doesn't make any sense. So I need to make good on that.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we got Goonie. And his games are, he says, Don't Stop, Girly Pop. He says, the game looks absolutely batshit insane and has me intrigued. How about you, Joe? Are you a Don't Stop, Girly Pop girl?
I'm actually looking at it right now, and it looks crazy. So I think it's basically a momentum shooter. So it's like an arena shooter. It's a single-player game, but it's all like pink and like you're running all crazy. You're like decorating your guns and putting lots of bows and all this other stuff. Lots of hearts and lots of pinks going everywhere. And it looks nuts. So yeah, it's coming out on Steam on January 29th. So
wow. Well, there you go. So he also says, I want to say Yakuza Kiwami 3, but I still need the earlier games in the series. It's I'm going to tell you, Goonie, I have them all, and they are such a time sink, and they are very long. So you just gotta like, clamp your feet in and just go into it. 'Cause man, they are long. So yeah. Romeo is a Dead Man from Suda 51 and Crimson Desert seems to be promising a lot. Hopefully it will live up to the hype. So that was Goonies, and I definitely have to agree with you, Goonie, around Crimson Desert. That's one of mine. It looks fun. I don't know I know nothing about it. It has a lot of hype attached to it because it looks too good to be true, but I am hopeful that is not the case, and it actually is a really good game. So that's one of the games that I'm, wanting to play. But again, a game like that, I have to I have to see what people are saying. Like I have to see a little bit more of what's going on. So I don't think I'm going to do anything with that game until it comes out, and I'm actually able to see a lot more of it before I jump in and dive in.
Yeah. That's from the developers of Black Desert Online, and I know a lot of people were hyped about that, but that kind of fell flat, I think.
Yep.
So
yep, it did. And I played, Black Desert Online, and I really tried to get into it. And while it looked really, really nice, it was all it had no substance to it. So hopefully this one is different. So we'll wait.
Out in March, so it's coming sooner than later. So
yep. So some of the games that I'm looking forward to, or my backlog, are like I said before, Gotham Knights, and then Guardians of the Galaxy. Those are a couple of games that I definitely want to play. Wolverine is another one, as well as Clair Obscura. Got to check out I actually own it, but I got to sit down and play it. Pragmata, The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, and then a couple other ones that I'm super looking forward to is and this might be controversial, I don't know, but I'm actually looking forward to Diablo 4, the Lord of Hatred expansion. I know we're not really that into expansions or whatnot, but I've really started after playing Diablo again and getting back into that vibe. I'm looking forward to hearing what's going on, to seeing what's going on with that storyline. I really enjoyed it. And, with Joe and I playing Vessel of Hatred, I really got back into it. And so part of me is like, let's just go in and see what it is. We have two new classes coming out, the Paladin and some other class, probably be the Amazon. No, it won't be. Probably won't be the Amazon. It'll probably be like the Witch Doctor or something like that. But we'll see. And I'm kind of excited for it. I want to see what happens with it. On that note, the proper release of Path of Exile 2. I think they're going to be fighting for my lunch, and I hope I have enough to pay for both of them. So we'll see. And then my most anticipated game that I want to play, and I know some people are going to be like, "There's so many other really good games coming out," but it's my list, so hush up. It's Avowed for PlayStation 5. I am here for it. I'm ready for it. I want to play it. I'm going to play it, and it's going to be amazing. And that's all I have to say about that. So you can
talk about news, sir. So.
Yeah, you can be happy, you can be mad, but that's what I'm playing, and I cannot wait. So just yeah. Yeah. But that's all that we have. Again, if you're listening to this, hopefully you are, thank you very much, and you want to add to the conversation, you can definitely do that on in the comment section on the YouTube video, or you can do it in our Discord. If you want to learn how to join our Discord, please stay tuned till the end, and Kev will definitely let you know how to do that. But what comes after me. It's the Jabroni Gaming News.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, so news for 2026. We first want to discuss Nintendo Switch 2 hardware sales. Slowed down during the Christmas period compared to its predecessor in many Western markets, including the United States and the UK. On here, this is according to the Game Business, a blog that I do follow. Switch 2 sales in the U.S. over the holiday period from November to December were down around 35% compared to what Switch 1 managed during the same period in 2017. On here, it's a similar picture in the UK, where Switch 2 sales for the last 8 weeks of the year were 16% lower than Switch 1 in the same period of the life cycle. So, however, when sales of the original Switch are included, sales of Nintendo hardware were actually up 7% compared to the same period in 2017. On there. So in France, Switch 2 sales in 2025 were over 30% lower than what Switch 1 achieved in its first year, which is a surprise for our market because Nintendo is pretty strong in France on there. So I don't know what happened, but basically I noticed during Black Friday and Christmas time that Nintendo wound up like putting the Switch 2 on a like $50 discount sale. I know we talked about it even because, Kev, you were debating about buying the Switch 2 at that point. So, but I don't know if maybe it's just less hype regarding the Switch 2, if it's just an extension of the platform. I don't know if maybe because of the tariffs and the other economic pressures per se that people weren't buying the Switch 2. Or maybe you kind of feel like Mario Kart World is kind of flat and Nintendo's not really bringing too much to the table in the first year. So, Des, I'm going to kick it over to you. What do you think might be the cause of this? Just maybe all of those reasons, or what's your overall feeling on it?
Well, didn't it sell really well at the beginning, but it didn't sell well during the Black Friday stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think people probably just didn't have no money for it. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, people. I just think this is a symptom of a much larger economic downturn that was just happening. You know, and people forget these are video games and the video game industry. This is a luxury. You know, and if people are going to have to start cutting back on luxuries, video games are going to be one of them. You know, I think that's really what's going down. I don't think people had a negative taste for Nintendo or anything like that. I just think people were like, they either already bought it when it first came out because, you know, it's Nintendo, it's a big brand, and they have a loyal fan base, you and me included, and to a lesser extent, Kev, you got one, so you're welcome to the family, Kev.
Switch gang.
Yeah. So no, I honestly think this I wouldn't worry too much about Nintendo, and their sales being lower than normal. I think this is one of those things where once you stretch out the lifespan, you'll see that it's going to sell like it might not sell like hotcakes at the beginning, but over the course of its life, I believe that it will have a very high I don't want to say adoption rate. It's just a very high amount of people purchasing it. I just think people had other things that they were wanting to buy on. So for me, I'm not worried like about Nintendo. I don't work for them, but you know, but I still believe that at the same time, it's not for them. It's not too much of a big deal. Well, maybe it is for them because they want to look at that money. But for me as a consumer, I got one when it came out. I think a lot of people did. And I don't think that they're going to be worrying that bad. I just don't. Yeah, I don't see them sweating in boardrooms. You know.
Yeah, I think this was mentioned in the article too. It says one senior Nintendo employee told the game business that a complicated economic landscape was possibly the cause. Higher price points and the absence of a major Western game during Christmas made comparisons between Switch 1 and Switch 2's opening Christmas periods difficult. Because Switch 1 launched with Breath of the Wild and also with Super Mario Odyssey. And those were day one like games that came out with that system. So,
and there were not any day ones that came out. And the one that really came out, which was, well, the one day one is like Mario Kart. And I don't know if that's a big enough draw. I mean, Kevin said earlier that it's not worth, you know, the money that you would pay for it. And I have to agree with him. Like you kind of look at it and you're like, okay, you know, this is cool and all, but I don't think it's, you know, going to be driving systems now. And then what was the other one that came out? Donkey Kong or Banana Nanza, which it should have been called
Banana Nanza, and then Pokemon Legends XA.
That's not a compelling enough draw. I'm sorry, it's not. Like if they really wanted to move units with this, they should have released another Mario or a Mario collection. They did now, but you know they should have came out with something that was really kind of big. But for me, they knew this was a refresh. That's all this was for Nintendo, and that's why they didn't do the big super release that they needed with it. They knew what they were doing, and I honestly believe they are not worried. They are not.
Okay, all right, good deal. All right, let's move.
I'll just say this. I think the difference is the Switch was what, 300 to 350.
Yep,
and this was 400 to 500.
Yeah.
I think that's literally what it boils down to. I was in Best Buy between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And I can't remember what I was buying, but there was somebody that came up to buy a Switch 2. And when they were parents buying it for their kid or kids. And when the clerk told them how much the Mario Kart bundle was, they said, "What?"
I don't mean to laugh, but that's kind of hilarious to me.
I kid you not. They said, "What?" And then they were about to ask another question, and I didn't hear it completely. All I heard was Switch 1, and I have a feeling that they were asking about, can these games be played on the Switch 1? Because they were not prepared. And there are obviously people that don't follow video games. It's probably the kids play video games, and they, you know, hey, my kid or kids want this, let's go get it. So I don't know if they wound up buying it or not, but they said when the clerk told them what the price was going to be after tax, they said, "What?" Yeah, that's what it boils down to.
That's
I
funny.
think even though they did not have the must-have launch titles that the Switch One had, you have to remember. I think they're saying that across the board, console sales were down 17% overall. Yet PlayStation wound up winning the Black Friday period, because of their deep discounts across the board on their hardware. By the way, that Portal is probably the most comfortable handheld I've ever had in my hands.
It is. You are so right.
That thing is ridiculously ergonomic. Like, now I'm not going to say that I've held every handheld, but I've held the Steam Deck, and I've held the original Switch, and I've held the Switch 2. The Portal puts all of them to shame in the ergonomic department.
He's not wrong, y'all. He is not wrong.
Shame. It's like when because I dropped Jabroni Chief a plate off a plate for Christmas, and he let me use the Portal, and I'm sitting there asking myself, do I need to buy this thing? It's like I don't have a use case for it.
No,
I do not have a use case for it, but damn, that thing felt so good in the hand. Y'all can call me a pony all you want to, which I'm not going to say I'm going to deny it, but no joke. The Portal is the most ergonomically comfortable handheld, I will say, on the market right now. Now, I have not held the Asus Go or the Lenovo, but just looking at them, I can say at best they're equivalent to a Steam Deck, or worse. But that Portal, bruh, forget about it. For you, it literally feels it feels like you're holding a game controller, but it just kind of melts in your hands. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's like, anyway.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you 100%, Kev. That thing was like, I felt like telling Joe, just get it away from me. Get it away from me. I don't want to touch it.
I mean, my use case, I was on Desmond's couch. They were watching TV. I was playing some PlayStation, while they're watching Buffy or Angel or whatever was going on at the time.
Different craziness I was making you watch.
Yeah, all good. But, Portal is good. There's kind of rumors right now of maybe there might be a refresh with an OLED screen, possibly, but who knows? So
don't say that.
You know what? If they do go beyond, if they go and make a traditional handheld, it's got to be based off the Portal from an ergonomic standpoint. It has to be, because man, that thing just feels. You hear when people say, "Oh yeah, it just felt right." That damn thing feels right. It's I don't know what they did, what dark arts of ergonomic wizardry they did over at PlayStation, but that damn thing is redunculous with regards to how it feels.
Agreed.
Next story we want to talk about, Sony has patented a new technology. So PlayStation games, basically they have patented the Ghost Player. So in the patent documents, the Ghost Player would see players call down an AI-generated ghost version of the player character, which could either play out the solution to a particular part of the level or complete it entirely. So if you're having issues in a game and you're going to go to YouTube or GameFAQs or whatever, they want to have you go into the PlayStation OS and play guide mode on here, so that you could bring in an AI controlled player that would be able to demonstrate the solution or complete it for you on here. So, it just depends as far as what's going on with this, but they actually got a patent for it. So And I know that they already have in the PlayStation 5 OS the ability to be able to, like, say if Dez was having an issue with the game, or if I want to like control Dez's character, he could give me access to his PlayStation via remote play, and I could actually, via remote play his character, play his game for him. So this is incorporating AI in there. So what's your guys' feeling on this? I think it's cool, but it's nothing I don't per se want. I want to play my own damn game.
Exactly. I want to play the game. I mean, I've heard about this like assistance type stuff, and for those who might need that sort of assistance, great. More power to you. But for me, no. This is a no-go. Like I don't feel that I need it, and I don't feel that I want it. I just don't. No, this does not seem like I need it. So I'm just gonna pay that this is not for me and keep it pushing.
Like, no, bro. Okay.
Like, no, thank you. This is not.
I'm assuming, Kev, you don't want anyone completing. It's like,
actually, I would use this. I would use it. I would tell you when. In action games that have puzzle elements. I hate puzzle elements in games.
There you go.
I would absolutely turn the AI on. I'm playing what's that game, that the Gearbox game that
Borderlands
4. Yeah. My hating game, when I get to a boss I can't beat, I will, because I want to get through it and be able to get to the credits. I'll absolutely turn that AI on and fight these bosses for me. No problem, because I couldn't take this game back because I bought it digitally. So I think for me, those would be my use cases for it. Puzzles and just getting through games I can't take back.
If you're playing something like Sekiro or something, I don't think
Oh, hell no. If I'm playing Sekiro, if I'm playing Phantom Blade Zero, if I'm playing, one of the games I'm going to go back to is First Berserker Kazan. No, absolutely not. But for those scenarios I just mentioned, absolutely, I would turn that some bitch on and not think twice about it.
All right, well, good deal. Next thing we want to talk about, Des mentioned in the Vessel line, Xbox and Obsidian's Avowed is now coming to PlayStation 5 with new modes and content. So we were we've been talking about this since Avowed came out for Xbox Series X consoles and PC. When is this thing coming out? Well, they had recently a new Game Plus showcase on YouTube with a bunch of streamers. I heard it was kind of mid, but
it was announced. It was terrible, actually.
I didn't watch it, so
you didn't miss anything.
Part of this is that Obsidian, well, it is something because they announced this, but Obsidian announced that a PlayStation 5 version of Avowed is coming along with their anniversary update on February 17th. It's going to have a new Game Plus mode, new races, new weapon types, a photo mode, and more on here. I found it funny because I was seeing some commentaries like, PlayStation players they get to play Avowed 1.0 and not have to deal with this early shit. So
that's right.
What they complain about? They got the Game Pass test period.
That's right.
They got the Game Pass test period.
Y'all got beta.
They got no room to complain. We have to pay for it if you want to play the game.
Thank you. Y'all got beta. Have fun with that.
Now, during the interview in the New Game Plus streaming show, Obsidian called the anniversary update a quote-unquote more rounded experience compared to the original game on here. So, and of course, we'll have to see. But I know, Des, you're going to be,
day one,
telling us all about it day one. So
day one,
there is no physical for this, but it's Microsoft for you. But
day one, I'll be there.
I think it's $49.99. Are they out of your mind?
Are they out of their minds? They are, but I'm still gonna do it.
Good deal. I'm gonna see how you like it if need be. I know you're gonna love it. Maybe when you're at work, I'll connect via my PlayStation Portal and play some Avowed So
I'm turning it off.
you're turning it off? Why? Why not?
I'm turning no.
Nope.
No.
All right. We'll see. Wink, wink. So, all right. Another game that got announced during that live stream was another Xbox game. So this is a game that I actually played on the Xbox Series X. It was in early access for quite a bit of time. This is a game called Towerborne on here. So this is a side-scrolling action RPG brawler. It's actually from the team that did the Banner Saga series on here, but this is coming out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC via Steam and Microsoft Store on February 26th. This is going to be published by Xbox, of course. It's going to cost $24.99 for the standard edition and $29.99 for the deluxe. And of course, if you do have access to Game Pass, you will be able to play it on there. So this game is an action RPG brawler. If you're thinking like Dragon's Crown, something in that nature, it is basically in that wheelhouse. So, and then this is the 1.0 version of the game. So, obviously Xbox players in open beta get to kind of play around with it. But, the 1.0 is coming out for everything under the sun, including PlayStation. So I don't know if you have had a chance to check this out, Kev, but it might be something to where it might be a good multiplayer game for us on there, for us in the community possibly. So this is a multiplayer action RPG similar to Dragon's Crown. So, and I like the looks of it. I like the art style. So, this might be a day one get for me. Maybe you could connect remotely and play this on my PlayStation, Des. So,
yes,
of course.
So I haven't watched any video. Does it play like Absalom?
It's probably
less.
It plays like Absalom, but it's less involved. Probably like not so roguelike. It's more like a left to right, brawler / you pick the good character class and kind of go from there. So you kind of venture together. There's 4-player multiplayer on there, and you could create your character. You could customize their looks, gears, and weapons on there. And there's different weapon types, including war clubs, gauntlets, daggers, swords, and shields. So
so it's more involved than Absalom, because Absalom at its heart is like a rogue beat 'em up.
Yeah.
So
there's going to be a world map. There's going to be seasonal content too, as well. So, and there's going to be seasons that they're going to run with the game. So Seasons of Towerborne will continue the story of the Belfry by introducing new enemies to battle, new regions to discover, abilities to master, and lore to uncover on there. So it's going to drip feed some of the content into the game, as is with certain live service updates. So, so we'll talk about, I'm going to buy this day one. I'll let you guys know, if I'm not sucking on the Borderlands 4 tit still, we'll have to see. But sorry to be so crass, but it is what it is.
That's true, sir.
Well, I speak the truth. Yeah, I might as well speak the truth over here. So
yeah.
All right. And Kev mentioned during the Vessel line too, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is teasing a Fist of the North Star collaboration. So, of course, we don't have the announcement just yet, but there was a short animated video. It's teasing a collaboration between Fatal Fury City of the Wolves and Fist of the North Star. So if you want a chance, check that out. But I think it's damn cool for Season 2 for Fatal Fury to introduce Kenshiro. It's like, can't wait to see what they do with it, So there was a Fist of the North Star fighting game, I think, for PlayStation 3, if I'm remembering correctly. So it's like...
wasn't it for... Because I think I played the one on the Saturn. Wasn't it on Saturn too?
Yeah, there was one on the Saturn, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I remember playing.
Yeah.
I think I actually had that.
Yeah, and the original, if you ever played Last Battle on the Genesis, that was actually a reskin Fist of the North Star game, actually. So
really?
Yeah. I always thought Last Battle was kind of but they took all the blood and stuff out of the US version of Last Battle. So
Last Battle wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to make this work, because it's like literally Kenshiro just touches you and you're dead. Your limbs explode.
Never
don't know how
Harry
that.
Bogart.
Yeah.
You actually might be able to play the Fist of the North Star arcade game. I forgot about this game, but Arc System Works brought out a game back in 2005 for arcades and PlayStation 2, where it was a Fist of the North Star fighting game. I had to go back and take a look just to see if I could remember correctly on this. So on here, so maybe I'll have to check that out via emulation. You never know, or actually pick up a PS2 version of it. So, but we will see with Kenshiro and Fatal Furies. So, and then the last news nugget I have before we conclude for this episode. THQ has announced that they have finally got a demo ready for the Eternal Life of Goldman. So if you haven't heard of this game, this is basically a very lush, hand-drawn, side-scrolling platformer. You play as this old man with a cane. And when me and Des were at Tokyo Game Show in 2024, we actually liked this quite a bit. We played a demo of it there, and I thought it was really fun. Yeah. Oh. So remember at the THQ booth where we went and we played this demo after playing Titan Quest 2? So
cool.
Yeah. Obviously, it was very memorable for you, but I did? What?
It was awesome.
It's coming out via Steam. It's going to be part of the next Steam Next Fest in February 2026. So, and you actually will be able to play the first 90 minutes of the game in the demo. So I'm going to be checking that out. It is Steam Deck compatible as well, Des. So if you happen to remember, you never know. But that is Jabroni Gaming News for this episode.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Sir Jabroni. Game night takes place every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. That is the day and time that we are utilizing to play with our growing Discord community. So if you have a game that you're interested in playing either with us or other members of our Discord, post it in the game night channel. And if we don't have it, it won't be a problem for us to get a hold of it. More than likely, at least one of us is going to have the game. And we would be more than happy, or other members of the community would be more than happy to play games with you at that date and time. So you might be asking, well, how do I join the Discord? And that's easy as well. You just head over to the app formerly known as Twitter, currently known as X, or Blue Sky, or Blue Sky. And you head over to @GamingVessels, GAMINGVESSELS. You click the link in the bio, and you are in. We don't have any merch to hawk, and we don't have a Patreon tier list for you to pay for in order to join. Just ask you be a decent human being, likes talking about, discussing, and debating video games. I think you'll find a happy home aboard the good ship Gaming Vessel. So, with all that said, that's going to bring our first episode of the year, episode 297, to a close. I want to thank y'all for hanging out, cooling out, chilling out, without a doubt. Oh, but before I forget, the last thing I'm going to mention is for my Switch, I have an Easy SMX Pro controller. I just couldn't pay $90 for the Nintendo Pro controller. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. This thing is probably a little bit better than the Nintendo Pro controller. If you can live without console wake up, this Easy SMX is freaking dope. It's got a much better digital pad, in my opinion. It's got a disc, which makes it a little bit easier for side scrolling beat 'em ups and even fighting games. If I played fighting games on it, the disc can be removed, so you still have access to the cross if you're more comfortable with that. It's got what they call HAL anti-drift sticks,
Hall effect sticks,
and I got this one for like, what was it, $30?
Yeah, Easy SMX. Yeah. I've never bought a controller from them, but you bought the S10, and I've looked at it before. It's just, I got tons of controllers here, so it's like,
and of course, it's compatible with PC,
Android.
So Android, iOS, all that wonderful stuff. But if you can live without console wake, I think this is a better controller than the Nintendo Pro one. So for whatever reason, Nintendo has locked console wake up to their proprietary peripherals for some reason, which I don't think they did that.
Controllers that third-party controllers that actually do wake it up from sleep. It just depends. They might patch it, so you never know.
Yeah, it's weird because it's very weird because the YouTuber that I off their recommendation, I've kind of been following them for a couple of years, and I enjoy their controller reviews. I guess they pointed to some type of legal thing that Nintendo did with the Switch 2, that it's like you got to jump through some licensing hoops to get console wake on a third-party controller, and some companies are just not willing to do that. I don't know what it is that they want them to do, or how much. Well, I think it comes down to how much money they're going to have to pay.
There's some workaround. Companies that have console wake up for their Switch 2 controllers are not paying Nintendo. I could tell you that right now. So
it's kind of it's funky, but anyway. That's going to bring episode 297 to a close. So for Dez, a.k.a. the Bay Area Terror, a.k.a. I forgot.
High-Res Leva.
High-Res Leva. There you go. The High-Res Leva, a.k.a. the Cat Daddy, a.k.a. that Gamer Stepdaddy, and for Trader Joe, a.k.a. Jabroni Chief.
Happy New Year, y'all.
But you might also better know him as the Food Max of Gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. I am Shonuff71, a.k.a. Digadulamite.
Purple Bling Bling, y'all. Still is there. Never forget.
Still there. Never forget.
New year.
So we'll be back, episode 298 for your ears. Peace.